Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Listen, one bank coin landed what they're calling a mega partnership, right? A utility coin was going crazy. Like, actually, it was two of them was going crazy. Those who know, we're going to cover one we're not going to cover. So that was looking great. We have more mysteries being uncovered. I mean, there's so much stuff going on. Then we got a price prediction here for XRP. You know, we have some director. We're going to get into that, speaking on ETFs and impact and such. And I guess they're going to say when they think it might occur. I don't know. We're going to get into all of this super bullish news today. I hope you're all doing fantastic out there. So this first article is titled XRP ETF and Ripple IPO prediction ignites $5 XRP price target anticipation. Here's the crazy thing. You have all of these people saying $3 to $5. Then there was another, and a couple of Bitcoin people said 3 to 5. Remember that? Then another Bitcoin person, they said it was a maxi, said that person, they wanted to take profit from, what was it, $3 to $7, something like that. Why are all these people saying $5? Why are they so locked in on that? I mean, am I the only one who thinks that? Like, are they getting this from advisors or something? It's just over the years, there's been a lot of XRP price predictions, right? And they're wildly different. Some people want thousands of dollars XRP. Some people want hundreds. Some people just want $15, $10. They're all like very, very different. But now, this last 2 months, you have people just narrowing it down to $3 to $5. And, a lot of them saying this year, listen, I'm not saying, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not one of those predictor type people. I don't have control over Ripple or XRP. I'm just a holder of such and a reporter on it. But I just find that very interesting that they're saying that. Now, let's get into the article here. And just let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It says members of the XRP community are now projecting whether or not the coin can soar to $5 should an XRP ETF and likely Ripple Labs IPO emerge. Well, a lot of them are speaking like they're absolutely certain that these things are going to happen and that is going there. People are talking big money. That's all I know. Right now, people are talking big money. We had an article the other day. Somebody said their father sold their house for XRP. We have a lot of, this is how they're phrasing it, Bitcoin maxis, elitists saying where they're putting thousands upon thousands of dollars into XRP. Then we're reading all these articles about whales accumulating XRP. Something's coming and people know something. I mean, there's something making them super bullish that wasn't there before. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't there before because for years XRP has been super bullish, but it's like there's some new piece of information they're coming into the knowledge of that's creating all of this activity. I mean, I'm just playing with thoughts here. You could disagree with me, but this is what I'm thinking. It's a speculations regarding the price of XRP are an age-long conversation. That's what I'm saying. So why is it different now? Why is everybody saying $3 to $5? Don't get me wrong. I would love for it to go there as a beginning, right? I know the potential of XRP, but it's just interesting to me how this is working out. It says, despite persistently trading below $1 since November 2021, XRP proponents contend the token is worth more than its current valuation amid sustained confidence of an imminent price surge. Former Ripple Labs director Sean McBride recently triggered talks around XRP's bullish growth potential with his latest dual prediction. All right, so what do you have to say, sir? It says, considering XRP's position as the 6th largest cryptocurrency, many community members are optimistic that it can attract investment products tailored for Bitcoin and Ethereum, including spot ETFs, which I think I have an article here about Ethereum. Let me just look give me one moment. I just want to see if I have that article up here. If not, I'm just going to talk about it. Get it out the way. I don't have it here. But I had an article on Ethereum possibly getting a spot ETF sometime in the next few months. Good. Let's get that out of the way. We got Bitcoin out of the way. Let's get Ethereum out of the way. And the next clear one up, in my humble opinion, is XRP. Anything that's positive for XRP, I'm all for it. Although I don't hinge all my thoughts on the XRP ETF, but I'll take it. Why not? If it's going to be positive and push that price up and make us some money, that's what people say. Let's get that done. I'm about making money. It says, McBride hinted at the possibility when he predicted that the community is likely to see an XRP ETF later this year or at the latest 2025. Now, here's the thing. If he's saying that, then that case, I would think that case would have to be over, right? But if that case is over, am I worried about an ETF? Not really. If that case is over, I need to start hearing about bank announcements from Ripple. I need Ripple to start dropping fantastical information about partnerships that they have. That's what I'm looking for. But so this has huge implications if he's saying this. And like I said, maybe he has some sort of insider information about things that are going on. It says the expectations of an XRP ETF predate the approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF in the US in Q4 last year. There was a false filing for XRP. We know about all that. We don't need to hear that right now. Though BlackRock denied knowledge of the filing, the reactions to the filing exposed the community's desire. That's a good point. Evidenced by XRP's price upsurge at the time. So that's what they're saying here, folks. They're basically talking about XRP ETF, he said, maybe towards the end of this year, 2025. They're calling for a possible $5 surge. We'll see if that happens. You make up your own mind where you think that can go. All right, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Let's move on here because these Satoshi emails are setting everybody off. This Satoshi court case has been opening up a lot of different things, and Ripple CTO Davis Schwartz has his words to say about the individual who is on trial, or in court about this Satoshi stuff here. This article is titled Ripple CTO slashes Craig Wright's Satoshi claims amid COPA trial. This is the trial. This is why all those emails got released. All right. It says the ongoing trial at London Rolls Building within the Royal Courts of Justice is witnessing Craig Wright face intense scrutiny owing to his claims to being Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. Moreover, amid the legal trouble, Ripple CTO Davis Schwartz's scathing remark. Oh, Schwartz is going to war. At least that's what they're going to lead me to believe. You better tell me he said something crazy. Scathing remark added fuel to the already blazing skepticism surrounding Wright's assertions. It says the Ripple CTO drew a clear distinction between Craig Wright and Satoshi. Yeah, I don't believe they're ever going to find a Satoshi. And I'm going to tell you why later, because I believe I have another article about Satoshi to end off this video. I feel like my awareness is a little bit different than others. And as I'm reading information about Satoshi, it leads me to believe a few things, but we'll get there a little bit later because that mystery is such a great mystery to unravel. It's just something fun. It says Craig Wright and Satoshi, the distinction between Craig Wright and Satoshi after he got a hold of another concept that sets them apart. So see, everything's getting unveiled right now. It says, quote, we can now add is digit to the list of things Satoshi understood and Craig still doesn't, unquote, Schwartz remarked. Moreover, he highlighted Wright's apparent fundamental misunderstanding of programming basics. So Schwartz's tweet was in response to a 2021 post wherein the user underscored Wright's lack of knowledge on C/C++. Joseph P. Gartling posted a screenshot of the accused's old blog from 2011 and stated, quote, practically everything is wrong, but first draw your attention to line 37. This is a mark of a non-programmer, unquote, he added. Quote, there's no need to just ensure something is set if you already know it's set. He says this is the kind of thing first-year students do. Keep in mind, this is from 2011. So this individual, according to court documents and according to genius level individuals like David Schwartz, is getting exposed as not being Satoshi. And that's why Satoshi's emails were so that the court's forced to be released were so important. All right. So now let's move on here because we have a bank coin landed a massive, what they're calling a mega partnership today. Or was it yesterday? Something like that. This is great. I love Hedera. I love HBAR. I'm a holder of HBAR. And it says this, Hedera through the HBAR Foundation has inked a partnership with the Digital Euro Association. The Digital Euro Association. This is huge. Go look up the Digital Euro Association, folks. Hedera is on it. It says To drive innovation in the industry, the HBAR Foundation is the primary body behind the development of the Hedera protocol. HBAR, its alliance with the Digital Euro Association, a think tank with an interest in driving digital payments evolution, will go a long way toward bolstering its authority in the industry. As revealed, the partnership was cemented in the duo's alignment of innovation pursuit as it concerns digital payments, stablecoins, and central bank digital currencies. It says here, as an association, the Digital Euro Association thrives with multiple industry partners contributing to its advancement. The link up between the Digital Euro Association and HBAR Foundation will bring the best minds together to work towards driving the growth of the blockchain ecosystem. Listen, that not only that, but their recommendations. See, the power of some of these councils and associations is mind-blowing because of who's on it. So when they make a recommendation, it's going to go far. Remember, a lot of these systems they're going to be running, even when they roll out CBDCs and stuff like that, they're going to need to be linked together. A lot of these smaller places are going to need places to provide infrastructures for them. I mean, there is a lot of money on the table once we get the CBDC stuff kicked off. Once there's global clarity for crypto where it could be used at any time, anywhere, easily, without problem. We haven't even gotten to that stage yet. So things like this are going to be huge in the future, just in my humble opinion. It says here, Hedera already boasts an advanced technology that enables the transfer of assets with fees at, quote, a fraction of a cent. We know that. It's one of the best of the absolute best. It says the exact ways the HBAR Foundation will be contributing to the growth of the DEA remains unclear at this time. However, members of the DEA may learn how the HBAR Foundation was able to develop Hedera as a carbon neutral, they like that kind of stuff, carbon neutral protocol, while still solving the trilemma of speed, low cost, and decentralization. It says, quote, as the lowest carbon footprint decentralized ledger technology, Hedera is uniquely positioned to contribute to the growth of the digital currency ecosystem, unquote, said Shane Higdon, CEO of the HBAR Foundation. So a lot of big things taking place. I'm happy to see this. I'm happy to hear about this. And I think Hedera is going to be successful in the future, as I think a lot of these bank coins are going to be very successful into the future, but they'll all have their different degrees of success. And I think their protocol will go to different prices. But you have to decide for yourself where you think those things are going to go. I'll tell you, one of the biggest slept on and hated on bank coins that I think is still 100% going to be one of the most powerful in the future. I could be wrong, but I believe Quant. Quant is so just brushed under the rug, not spoken about, disliked. And it's crazy because a lot of us are still sitting on Quant gains. It's still up, greatly so. But I think it has a super bright future. They continue to work with these central banks. They continue to work with the top banks in the United Kingdom. And I believe that they have a few connections. No, my apologies. They don't have a few connections. They have a lot of connections in Europe outright because of Nexi and Sia Chain and stuff. I mean, they're doing a lot of stuff. It's just, and then another thing, they never elaborated further on staking on Quant. They floated the idea and then they never spoke about it again. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to do that in the future. And if you have something like Quant with 14 million total circulating supply getting staked, I mean, you're talking about an extreme supply shock at some point if they do something like that. So I'm just keeping that in mind. I look at how even newer things that have delegation and staking, how their prices have been affected dramatically. I've watched them very closely, and we're about to get to one right now. Flare and Songbird dramatically have been impacted by staking and delegation. They've locked up. The people have locked up and staked so much of that protocol that how much of it almost doesn't even matter at a certain point if you think that it hasn't even gone super mainstream yet, but the price has went up dramatically. We're talking about things that were like below a penny at certain points in the last like year or two. And now, I mean, people bought hundreds of thousands of these things, locking them up, delegating and staking. Look at where the price is now. I think Flare went up to like 5 cents or something like that. Keep in mind, if you bought a whole bunch at 0.009 or even Songbird at like, let's say 0.008 and you bought 50,000, 100,000, you're sitting on some some pretty decent gains right now. And then it's like, what happens in the future? They haven't even rolled out. They haven't even gotten it off of the test network yet, the Coston network, the F assets just yet. And already you're seeing this good activity. So with that being kept in mind, I say to myself, I take that kind of data. I say to myself, wait a minute. What if something like Quant was doing that? Right? It would, I mean, I think the gains will be astronomical, but I'm just putting my thoughts out here. Just my humble thoughts. This doesn't mean anything. This doesn't mean like for you to go get some Flare or Songbird or go get some Quant. I cover the news a little bit and I give my thoughts. That's it. I just want to make that clear. You don't have to do anything, you know, but I like to share my thoughts. I do. So I'm just waiting to see if Quant will roll out something like that, you know, delegation staking at some point. So I just feel like it's very slept on. And I don't see anybody talking about Quant at all, like no articles or anything. So anyway, let's move on here. We actually have an article about Flare because I told you it's doing really well. It says this: Ripple Ally Flare. You don't need to put Ripple Ally, and I think Flare is going to make noise for itself if it can pull off what it's saying. And it's been doing really well. Remember, they partner with Google, so it's legit. Google does not partner with Google Cloud doesn't partner with anybody that's not legit. They're super legit. They got stamped by Google. So you don't need to put Ripple Ally anymore. Flare can stand on its own, but let's go with that. Ripple Ally Flare jumped 16%. Oh yeah, I saw it for sure. I definitely saw it. I saw Songbird too. Did you see Songbird? I saw Songbird too. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm keeping a close eye on them. Oh yeah. It was with how cheap they are. Anyway. Amid multiple ecosystem updates. Yeah, as cheap as they are, I mean, like, that's like certain things I want to say. I'm not even going to say, but it says Ripple Labs Inc. backed digital currency Flare is on a bullish rampage. I like how you phrase that because I felt that way too. I was like, oh, it just kept going up. I kept getting alerts. I had my alert set, and I was like, man, it just from since yesterday, it just kept going up and up and up and up. And like I said, when you got a ton of this stuff, those little bits matter. When you got a ton of this stuff, the littlest bit, you're seeing delicious gains. So I just want to make that clear. This is Ripple Labs backed digital currency Flare is on a bullish rampage today, pushing the Oracle protocol to new price heights. The cryptocurrency has soared as high as 16.3% to 4 cents, 0.04541, jumping as high as 0.04794 in 24 hours. With its current boom, Flare has pushed its overall 7-day growth to 28.92%. It says the primary reason behind the surge in Flare can be traced to its ecosystem updates. As announced by the protocol, it welcomed some funding investors. Oh yeah, it's crazy. I had that article yesterday and I forgot to cover it. I didn't get to it. They received some sort of funding or something like that. I mean, Flare has been doing really well this year. I'm impressed by them. It's not easy to impress me. There's so many different protocols I'm not impressed by. That's why I'm covering them. But they've been impressive. I'm just being honest. If they were trash, I wouldn't even talk about them. It says here, they welcome some funding from investors, including Hong Kong and US-based Kinetic and New York-based Aves Lair, among others. This funding round is a big move by Flare investors as they have agreed to vest their tokens through Q1 2026, while reinvesting their profits from token sales into projects within the Flare ecosystem. Getting funded by prominent venture capital firms is a big boost for any protocol as it stands as a vote of confidence for the outfit overall. Flare network, that becomes easy after you partner with Google. See, I told you, when you partner with these big companies, they're going to bring in other companies. Venture capital is going to get interested. Flare network is also known to undergo a series of upgrades, with the latest set to be ushered in through the voting on STP 0.06 and FIP 0.06 that is poised to commence soon. These upgrades are vital as they can help add 1,000 new data feeds to the Oracle, thus making it more versatile. And that's another thing. They just keep getting stronger and stronger. I've read a lot of articles where people are enjoying that, what's they call that? The Flare drop, where they get paid in Flare just for holding Flare. So a lot of people they like that a lot. So I think that's been catching the eye of newer people, but I could be wrong. I don't know. It says, amid these updates, the Flare network, according to the VP of engineering at Flare Labs, now boasts a total of 20 million blocks and 60 million transactions, a true show of its growth to date. All right. So Flare is doing extremely well right now. Wait, what's this a little bit here? It says establishing dominance. Flare has created a niche for itself in the Web3 Oracle world. It seeks to wrestle a good market share from industry leader Chainlink. No, I disagree with that. I humbly disagree, because every time I say disagree, I gotta get a couple people in the comment section to disagree with my disagreement. No, you can have your own thoughts. I'm just putting my thoughts out there. That's it. But I think there's space enough for Chainlink. Chainlink is dominating right now, doing a fantastic job. And I think that's only going to continue. But there's enough room. Like there doesn't need to be this competition. The world is a big place. Crypto is global. There's a lot of big companies to work with. And I think Flare will find its place, just like Chainlink has its place. That's how I look at it. Just like Quant has its place. And they don't step on each other's toes either. So now let's move on here. Oh, I did have the article about Ethereum. I thought I didn't. Anyway, this article here is titled Legal Expert Predicts Spot Ethereum ETF Approval by May. I want to get this Ethereum ETF over with, so that way we can begin moving on to serious talks about the XRP ETF and getting a little bit more solid information possibly out of these companies. XRP definitely is the next in line. So that's why I just want to get the Ethereum ETF over with. It says Scott Johnson, a lawyer with a keen eye on the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's moves, recently threw out a zinger on Twitter. He's betting the SEC will give the nod to an Ethereum ETF soon, sometime in May. Wow. All right, fine. Let's get that over with. It says, if not, he reckons we're looking at a timeline stretching to mid-2025. Johnson recalls how the SEC got the ball rolling with Bitcoin spot ETFs. On September 29th, 2023, they kicked off by sending out initial comments on the ETF registration statements. Fast forward about 2 weeks and bam, amended S1 forms started popping up. It says this hustle happened within a solid 90 days to spare before the January 10th deadline. Now with the clock ticking down another 90 days to a May 23rd deadline for ETH spot ETFs, Johnson senses a pattern. So this might happen for those who hold Ethereum. This could be a good time for Ethereum coming up. I mean, not that Ethereum's been doing bad at all. I think it's been doing really good as of late from what I've read, right? I don't know what it's doing today. It says, yet he's quick to flag that the SEC might not switch gears from the Bitcoin timeline, including possibly pushing the S1 comment phase past the 19B4 approval. But hey, it's all a part of the game. Bloomberg analyst James Seifert chimed in, thinks the SEC won't have to sweat as much over the ETH paperwork compared to Bitcoin's. The groundwork laid by Bitcoin could give ETH application a leg up. That makes a lot of sense in my humble opinion, making the whole ordeal a tad easier. All right, so it sounds like things are looking good for Ethereum as of right now. Let's move on here. Man, see, I tell you, those of us on the ground doing research, hardcore research over the years, and we're putting out these ideas of how the banks are doing very bad. We've taken a look at a lot of the financials of the banks. We know that they're underwater when it comes to the commercial real estate, unrealized losses. They have a myriad of problems. They've been getting hacked left and right. I mean, this is a system where I just don't see how most of a good amount of banks don't go down over the next 2 to 3 years. I think within the next 2 years, I really do. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said many times, I wouldn't be surprised that they go down this year. But anyway, this article is titled Why Economists Are Warning of Another U.S. Banking Crisis. Now, even though individuals like myself have been talking about the banks, going down before they went down last year, then they went down. And now we're saying more will go down. I think that they will. It does help to have these pro-economists now telling the people. Here's the question. Will the people listen? Will they protect themselves? Will they check on the health of their banks? I guess we will see. But it says this, why economists are warning of another U.S. banking crisis. March 2024 is making investors nervous. A major scheme to prop up the U.S. banking system is ending, while a second may be winding down. I told you that program that they had it was pretty much a bailout program. The banks have been borrowing exponentially from that program since the banks went down last year. The FDIC, I believe, set up that program, and the banks have been borrowing ever since. That gave a false reality that the banks were okay when they were not okay. I said that plenty of times. Now you have them telling you. That's what they're talking about here. It says, so how worried should we be? And there's no we. There's no we. Because individuals like myself, we're not worried about this. First of all, we're going to profit from it. That's number one. But number two, we're not worried at all about this. There's alternatives, sir. It says the red letter day is March 11th, when U.S. Central Bank, the Federal Reserve, will end the bank term funding program. My apologies. So it wasn't the FDIC, it was the Federal Reserve. But this is what we're talking about, the Bank Term Funding Program, BTFP, a year after it began in response to the failures of regional banks, Signature, Silvergate, and Silicon Valley, all with S's. That's very strange, but whatever. These banks were brought down by customers withdrawing deposits. That's what you believe brought it down? Why did they withdraw the deposits? You going to tell the truth? So it's the customer's fault, huh? These banks were brought down by customers withdrawing deposits en masse, both because many were tech or crypto businesses that needed money to cover losses. Really? And because somebody out there is like, really, Alphaning? And because there were better savings rates available elsewhere. See, you had to tell the truth because people were going to call you out on it. There were better savings rates available elsewhere. But why is that? Why is that? Right. Who set up the conditions for it to get that way? Huh? This damaged the bank's profitability at the time when raised interest rates had already weakened their balance sheets by reducing the value of their holdings in government bonds. Silvergate failed. Well, we know about the failures. Let's skip that little part there. It says how the BTFP works. Investors then feared that other banks would fail. Most U.S. banks were similarly exposed to customer withdrawals and underwater bond portfolios. While the Credit Suisse collapse demonstrated the potential for contagion, the Fed's BTFP stopped the panic by allowing U.S. banks to borrow from the central bank using their bonds as collateral, which is ending. That tells you what, folks, it's about to get hot in the kitchen. Real hot. No more cushion, no more saving them. It's about to get very, very interesting very quickly. So, listen, I don't want to keep the video too long. There's so much more to this article. We may go over it another time. And I didn't make it to the Satoshi article. There's more Satoshi mysteries that were unveiled. We will go over that another time. So, now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with this. So, until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.